I was on tape in front of the cameras for about an hour and a half. He's very funny, and that's one of the biggest challenges going on the show, is that you literally sit there while he's asking you all of these questions and making all of these statements, and half of your brain is tied up with just trying not to laugh, because he does say some very outrageous things. He was reciting what apparently was a list of pornographic movie titles. That was definitely a little on the unusual side. At one point we were having this discussion on whether or not corporations should be able to be elected to the U.S. Senate. Of course, I didn't really think that that was a good idea. He is not really required to say anything that he actually believes. He's unrestrained in terms of he can say anything he wants, no matter how outrageous it is. About a half hour into the taping, he asked me to recite the First Amendment from memory. The First Amendment, of course, reads, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble, or to petition government for a redress of grievances." But for the life of me, with, after half an hour of very aggressive questioning and frankly hilarious commentary from Mr. Colbert, he asked me that question and just could not spit it out. Colbert Super PAC. Ostensibly, this is Stephen Colbert's vehicle that will allow him to take his message to America of making a better tomorrow, if memory serves correct. Really, what this is about is it's a very funny segment on his show that's attempting to make the point that the Citizens United decision was a bad decision, that the idea of corporate speech is in and of itself, silly, and that this is a decision that needs to be undone. That's what they're trying, I think, to show with their Colbert Super PAC segments. I think, though, that maybe they're providing a different lesson to the American public. I think that the American public is discovering that the right to free speech, which is supposed to be unfettered under the First Amendment, of course, is in fact being burdened by campaign finance laws. Stephen Colbert has had to seek the services of an attorney simply to find out what he has to do and how he's able to comply with the laws in order to raise him and his PAC, or allow him and his PAC to raise money for their speech. And I think that the American public, or at least the people watching the Colbert Show, are seeing just how complex and convoluted some of these laws can be. Corporations, are they or are they not people? This has been kind of one of the main talking points that so-called reformers have put out there. Of course, a corporation is not a living, breathing human being. It doesn't sleep, it doesn't die. Well, actually, you might want to ask Enron about that last one. Corporations do die, in fact. But obviously, corporations are not living, breathing human beings. They are not entitled to vote, nor should they be. They are different from you and me. The idea of corporate personhood is not the same as saying that corporations are people or that they are citizens and have the rights of citizens. Instead, what it really gets down to, and is really important, is the idea that corporations can exercise First Amendment rights on behalf of the people that make up that corporation. What would happen if somehow the so-called reformers got their wish, that somehow it was decided that corporations do not have First Amendment rights? Well, here's some of the things that would mean. It would mean that if, for example, the AFL-CIO wanted to put out a press release criticizing something that John Boehner has proposed in Congress, Congress could outlaw that because, unions, which are also covered under the Citizens United, aren't living, breathing human beings. But of course we recognize that a union speaks on behalf of its members. If you did not have First Amendment rights for associations of individuals, you would essentially shut down the free political speech of just about every interest group in America. You could tell the Center for American Progress or the Heritage Foundation that it is illegal for them to put out a policy study advocating for, fairer taxes or lower taxes or higher taxes. You could tell the Sierra Club that they could not even communicate with their members and tell them what was going on with a particular piece of legislation that they were concerned about. Because, again, the Sierra Club is a corporation. It's a 501c4 entity. And if it does not have First Amendment rights, then the Congress and the government can make it illegal for them to communicate ideas and messages and words that Congress doesn't like.